Hello and welcome to our show. It's about how you live today. My name is Linda Cates. I'm the Development and Communications Director at the Sharon S. Richardson Community Hospice. Our center and offices are located outside of Sheboygan Falls on Highway 28 going west. We specialize in end-of-life care, serving you and your loved ones anywhere that you call home. That might be in your own home, a nursing home, assisted living facility, or at our hospice center when you can no longer remain at home. Here in the studio each month, we address an important health-related topic with a variety of guests who are experts on this subject. And today we're going to be talking about community health, presenting our viewers with information about mentoring adolescents, young women in particular. So this is a critical topic when we think about the well-being of our community. After all, our young women are our future. An important conversation with a longtime friend of ours, Shar Pakniak. Shar is the founder and CEO of Horizons4Girls. Welcome, Shar.
It's good to be here.
Thank you so much. And one of your students, Abigail, welcome.
Thank you.
Our viewers will have an opportunity to hear from Shar and Abigail in just a couple of minutes. But first of all, as we begin every show, I want to give you a little bit of information about the topic of focus so that we can both get on the same page. Many of you have probably heard about mentoring programs. You may have heard about Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I think that's one of the most popular models across the country. Certainly in Sheboygan County, and we've had their executive director, Tim Caker, on this show. That was a couple of years ago. As our guests will tell us today, one-size mentoring program does not, in fact, fit all. Oftentimes we need what's referred to as customized programs to address certain target groups. In our case today, we're talking about adolescent youth, young women. Abigail, it's nice to know you're part of a target group, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
We're talking about a risk for this target group in terms of academics, behavior, and or family life. So again, to wet your whistle on this topic a little bit, I'd like to just share with you a piece of research I found in preparing myself for this conversation today. It comes from a website called family.go.com. And it's an article called A Crisis of Confidence, Teenage Girls and the Risky Years. Teen years for girls today are a period of real danger. Girls entering puberty often face a crisis in confidence, which makes them vulnerable to risky behaviors and choices that could be devastating and have lifelong consequences. Find out how mentors can help teenage girls survive those risky years and how you can find a mentor for your teenage daughter or become a mentor yourself. Those are topics that we're going to deal with today, so I thought that was a great share. So before we go any further, I'm going to ask Shar to introduce herself and then also Abigail. So again, welcome ladies, and Shar, if you'd begin.
Certainly. Mentoring for me has been a passion, and I'll share, I think I've shared this with you before. I had some wonderful mentors. In high school, 40 years ago, was a teenage mother. And I had some wonderful mentors that really inspired me to keep going, to become everything I could become, and that was very important. And through my life, I've seen girls, I've interacted with girls, and I decided it was time to step forward and create a program for those at-risk girls, really trying to connect with them. So the mission of what we try to do is we're mentoring what we loosely refer to as at-risk teenage girls. We mentor in a safe setting. We try to spark an internal motivation. We try to excite them so that they want to become everything they potentially can become. By doing that, that might be academics, that might be going on to a special career that they're interested in. And obviously that's a benefit to our community because they become citizens that are a part of our community making a difference. So the more we can inspire them, the better.
That's wonderful, Sharon. Isn't it great when our lives can come full circle and
Yes.
we can give back in a way that we were contributed to?
Yes,
I
very
hear
much.
I hear so many of those stories month after month with my special guests, and it's not a surprise to me today that you would have a comparable story. So thank you so much. Abigail, tell us about yourself. How would you introduce yourself?
Well, my name's Abigail. I'm 13 years old. I go to Horseman Middle School. I think Shara's really helped me a lot, I guess,
Okay.
with anything from my attendance to my grades to just family issues a lot, and it's very helpful. And I'm thankful I have her.
Excellent. Well, we're pleased to have you on the set with us today. And thank you so much for taking time to be with us, the both of you. Let's talk a little bit, Shar, as we approach this subject. I think our viewers have a sense of mentoring, and I think you've defined your student group well. But why don't you tell us a little bit more about Horizons4Girls? Again, we know that you're the founder and the CEO. How long have you been in providing the services? And I also understand that you have some special training for this. Let's explore that a little bit.
Okay. I've been doing this. This is my first school year that I'm doing it. We will be doing it 12 months out of the year, so we'll be continuing through the summer. But 2 years ago, United Way sent me to Search Institute, and I went through what is called Train the Trainer for 40 developmental assets. There's research that has been done that shows there's some very specific things that need to be a part of a youth's life to help them be successful. Some of those are internal motivations, some of those are around them, whether it's teachers, etc., helping them be successful in life. So that training, again, I can relate back to when I was a child and the whole thinking it takes a whole village to raise a child, and you know, the store owners being a part of when I was growing up. And that's not the same now. So what we try to do is really surround a youth with that supportive circle to help them.
Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with the 40 developmental assets because when I was with United Way in central Wisconsin, we did some work with the Search Institute, who has championed this research and kind of identified these, this listing of assets, and often referring to them as building blocks of healthy development. And so I'm sure that that's to our benefit in the community in terms of your understanding of those 40 developmental assets and integrating them into your programming at Horizons4Girls. Now, I also understand that you have completed some training on the Positive Behavior and Intervention Supports Program, otherwise known as PBIS. And tell us a little bit about that. It was pretty complicated. I did check the website when you had mentioned it to me, and I thought, okay, I'll let Shar explain this.
and I will try. I've gone through already 2 full days with the Sheboygan Area School System.
Okay.
They've identified this program in the state of Illinois extremely successful. And again, rather than when you and I might have gone to school and if we did something wrong, we were sent to the principal's office.
More times than I'd like to admit.
I think I ended up going once. But, you know, what they were doing is recognizing the negative behaviors, and you suffered the consequences. PBIS does the opposite. They really strive to identify good behavior and recognize it and reward it. And so by doing that, it makes the youth want to do more of that positive behavior. So what the school system is doing is, whether it's the school bus driver, it's the janitor, it's the teachers, it's the social workers, and they're now expanding it even into family life, saying that the more there is of recognition, what are the guidelines, what is my expected behavior, and I get rewarded for doing that correct behavior.
Well, probably good advice in all of our interactions with adolescents. And so perhaps for our viewers' benefit, you could give me an example maybe in your work with Abigail. What's a positive behavior that you work with her to demonstrate?
Well, a couple of different things. You know, we've identified some school attendance was not what it really should have been. I do take her to school very often, but there's times when she takes the bus. And we identify goals that we expect to do. And when we've accomplished those goals, we identify something that Abigail would like to have, whether that's a backpack, some new tennis shoes. Yesterday we were out and we did some clothes shopping. So, you know, things that Abigail would like to have, and those are the rewards for reaching those goals or doing those positive things. And usually for Abigail, that has to do with attendance at school, completing homework, that type of thing.
So really important things in terms of your success, right? And how does that work for you when you reach a goal and then you get a reward? That must be pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to get new things and be happy and excited that you earned them.
Excellent. Yeah, feeling good about yourself. I can see that. How lovely. So explain to us a little bit more, Shar. You know, we're kind of getting our arms around this, but so how would you get a referral to your program? And then from that point, kind of what happens?
Referrals come from a variety. They might come from a teacher, a school counselor, a social worker. They might come from a relative. This week I took a phone call from a grandmother. Actually, with Abigail, her mother saw, we connected on Facebook, and her mother said, I think Abby would really benefit from this. And then I met with the mother. I always meet with the mother. I need authorizations. We talk about some goals and expectations. What do we expect to accomplish? And that's why really I talk about customizing. What are the expectations? And then we proceed from there.
Okay, all right. And in my research, interesting that you would go back to this customizing concept, I came across this report, and I gave you a copy of it when we came in the studio today, Urban Girls Resisting Stereotypes, Creating Identities, right? It's what we start doing as young women. And it was a study done by Lead Beater, one name, and the other author was Way, W-A-Y. And just a couple of sentences from the study, because it really points to what you're saying. Across the lines of race and ethnicity in this study, the character of meaningful relationships remains a constant. They are distinguished by a girl's ability to speak freely, by a woman's ability to listen, and they're speaking about the mentor now, to understand and validate the young woman's feelings and experience, and by the mentor's willingness to share their own experience as well. The focus of this relationship is on confirming or drawing out a young woman's experience, feelings, and knowledge. And so they were making the point about the difference between perhaps a more typical, traditional mentoring program where you're getting together occasionally in a friendship forms, as opposed to this kind of role modeling, helping to establish those building blocks that are so important for development. So again, you talk about a customized mentoring, distinguishing your program, Horizons4Girls, different from perhaps a more traditional Big Brothers, Big Sisters mentoring type of program. So I know that there is at least one viewer out there right now wondering how they can get in touch with you. So if you would give me your phone number first in terms of any referrals or inquiries.
My phone number would be 254-1584.
And that's in Sheboygan,
Yes.
920-254-1584.
Correct.
And that's primarily how someone would reach you, Shar.
Yes.
That's the best way to get in touch with you. Excellent, excellent. So you get the referral, you meet with the parent or guardian and the young woman, and you create a plan. You set goals, you've mentioned to us, and talk about what could be done to support you, Abigail, in this case, in reaching your goals. And what did you think about all of that when you began?
I don't know. I kind of thought Shar was a pretty nice person. I thought maybe I would develop and I'd become more of a woman when I'm older, I guess.
Okay, so you saw some possibility for yourself in your initial meetings. That's great. And then what happens from there, Shar? What's a typical day in working with a student, whether that's Abigail or anyone else?
A typical day is, it's hard to say there's a typical day. I meet with some of the girls, and we're expanding right now significantly, but again, I'll refer to very often probably Abigail. We get together 5 days a week, sometimes even on Saturday for some events. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we are at Remedy Church downtown Sheboygan, unless we've got an activity that takes us off someplace. And on Wednesdays, we are at First Congregational Church. And I think you enjoy that. There's a chef that's in the kitchen very often working. So Abigail's been able to help make applesauce. She's helped prepare meals, Seal's meal.
Yeah, we do a meal whenever there's a
5 Saturdays in a month.
5 Saturdays in a month. We have a meal called Seal's Meal. And then I kind of do stuff with Shar's Rotary Club sometimes, like the lobster boil we're gonna have. Yes. We do things like going to Jake's Cafe, where I met a lot of women who are very developed, and they had mentors, so that helped them. We do homework, we do studying. We discuss anything. If I have a problem, I just ask her. And interacting with that, my mom has helped me a lot too. Okay. So I'm very proud to have both of them in my life.
Yes, well, I'm sure they're very proud of you. Who wouldn't be? That's lovely. So, Shar, a lot of activity, a lot of interaction, and I can tell also a lot of modeling, a lot of things that are happening as I listen to you and Abigail talk about your experience. Is there a lot of interaction with the other students?
Well, right now they're not really with us that much, but we're gonna get a bunch more students. So we're gonna have college students come and help out with stuff.
Okay.
So that's
so expanding your circle, right? That's an important skill to learn. Connecting, as I understand it, is one of the premier skills for the 21st century. So,
well, and
getting
it's been
some good experience.
One of our students actually has a form of autism, and when she's been a part of the group a couple of times, Abigail, I've seen Abigail step up and really interact very, very appropriately. Okay. So it's nice to see that come out of a student when that happens.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, supporting each other, as you're supported, I think is an extraordinary gift to share. How about the use of technology? Obviously, youth, like everyone else, are robust about technology. How do you integrate that in your program?
Oh, the story I'm going to share about that is actually something I learned from you, from one of the sessions that you did for your volunteers for the hospice when we were at the Kohler Learning Center and we spent a day together. I took a part of that, shortened it to fit what I needed, but there was a young lady that definitely had trouble communicating and opening up. So again, taking a digital camera, kids like to work with the technology, as you do also, Abby. But again, I said, take the camera. We were at a park. I said, I want you to go out into the park and take a picture of something, but take a very close up picture of that item, whatever it is, and take that picture and come back, and we're going to look at that picture. But you can only tell me what you saw. You can't tell me anything else about what you just took a picture of. So she came back and she told me about it. And I said, okay, now I want you to go back out into the park again. Take another picture, but I said, back up, but still take a picture. You know, get that in the picture. And now use all of your senses. What are you hearing, seeing, smelling, feeling, everything? So what she had taken a picture of was 3 oak leaves. This was in the fall, and the 3 oak leaves are on the ground. And when she came back in, she's telling me about, she heard cars on the road. It was a park by the lake, so she could see the lake in the background and she could hear the waves. She could smell the diesel of a truck that had just gone by. And I said, did you touch those leaves? Pick them up maybe. And she said, no. Do I have to? I said, no, you don't have to. And what she did was I said, what do you think would happen if you picked up